What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Austin Lewis here, coming to you with the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Anthony. This guy, I've actually been following you literally. I don't even know what it was, but I think it was 2013, bro. So, I mean, it was a decade ago, right? And I'm excited for this conversation. One, because I grew up in network marketing. I grew up with, the lotions and potions come from the oceans. I grew up with the weight loss. I grew up with the wrinkle cream and all sorts of other good stuff. You know what I mean? So I have a passion for the industry. I love the industry. I told myself I'd never get into it unless I owned it. Or was, a part of something like that. So I think I got a lot of like really good questions. And I mean, obviously, Anthony, if you guys haven't already, go follow him on Instagram. Absolute stud, drops a ton of gems. And at least if you don't want to go there for the gems and you don't want to go there for anything other than the fact of some inspiration, ladies and gentlemen, you guys will get plenty of inspiration from this guy just watching his Instagram stories as well as his posts. And, dude, you're a straight jet setter. You know what I mean? There's no lie to that. So, Anthony, dude, thank you so much for coming on the pod, bro. Massively appreciate it. I know you're going to drop some gems for my audience and a lot of other people that are going to be super excited to see this interview as well, man. So thank you.
Yeah, man, excited to be here. I'm excited to chop it up and have a little fun.
Absolutely, my guy. So let's just talk about this, okay? Right? Like network marketing, 9 years. You're 28 years old. You got started when you were 19?
No, 18 actually. So it's
18.
Going on 10. I worked about to start 10 years. Yeah. No.
Jeez, as you can tell, I graduated high school, never went to college. Well, not the shiniest marble in the box. So I shouldn't even have tried to attempt that math. So I don't even know where I was coming from. So you've been in it.
Not knowing the birthday was going to make it very difficult to
for
do
sure.
But I respect the effort. I definitely do respect the effort.
100%. I appreciate that, bro. So do network marketing for 10 years, right? Let's just call it even. You've seen so many different levels of life in the network marketing space. I mean, for those of you that aren't familiar with network marketing and those pyramid schemes that people so-called say them, it's network marketing is just a transfer service. It's just like any other business. It's just like literally Amazon. It's like anything, right? You have a product or service, you sell it on a monthly basis. They pay $100, you get a product or you get a service. It's a transfer of goods. Okay. So to be in the network marketing space, for those of you that don't know what network marketing is, and obviously Anthony can dive into it a little bit as well, but I want to have a high level conversation with you. But just for the dingbats that are on here, respectfully, I just want to educate them a little bit on network marketing to begin with. Network marketing is probably one of the hardest industries that you could ever get involved with. It is probably one of the hardest ways to make money. Now, of course, Anthony, you sitting here, you're like, bro, this shit's easy, man. Like, of course, it's not easy, right? But you've made tens of millions of dollars in the last 10 years doing this. So of course, it's not. It hasn't seemed so much for somebody that's looking at Anthony. It's like, okay, multimillionaire, made tens of millions of dollars with the company, yada yada. It is a very difficult business. I mean, what is the evolution over the last 9 years of network marketing been for you, bro?
Yeah, so I started as a college athlete, right? I was going to school playing sports. That's all I knew. Never even had a real job. Crazy kind of story. I was at a college pool party, met a guy that day. He was a pretty cool dude. We started becoming friends. A few weeks later, he's like, "Hey, man, I think you'd be good at what I just got involved in." I was like, "What are you talking about, man?" And he showed me network marketing, and he said network marketing, like you just said, and I was like, "What is that? Never heard of that." So 18 years old, it was the first time I ever even heard about it. Didn't even know it existed, right? But the way I kind of dummy it down, network marketing is really just a affiliate model, and it's a model that's very similar to actually every real estate company today, every insurance company. They're all identical. The biggest ones, the Keller Williams of the world, right? The biggest real estate businesses, the biggest companies, they're all actually these types of models. And it's a very unique concept because I could actually create leverage. And as an 18-year-old kid with no money to go start a traditional business is probably not likely, right? I didn't have hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars while I was going to school and playing sports, but I could get involved in a business for a few $100s and solely based off my work ethic, control my income and create leverage where I could leverage other people's hours. That is the key because, wealthy people, as you know, they create leverage. They leverage money or they leverage people. That's how the world works. Anyone who's going to tell you anything else is completely lying. If I own a company, I leverage all my employees' efforts. If I have my money making me money, I'm leveraging my money. The key is maximizing hours. So think about this real quick. As a human, we only have 24 hours in a day. Okay, very simple concept. If you work your ass off, what do you work? 8 to 10 of those? How much can someone physically pay you to work 8 to 10 hours. There's no way to physically become wealthy just doing that. So you have to figure out how to make money without applying time and maximizing your hours. Once you do that, then you start becoming wealthy. And that's the name of the game. So I saw a model that was unique where I could actually develop other individuals and benefit from other individuals' activities on top of my own. Of course, I'm doing my own every single day. You see me flying all over the world doing what I do, but I can leverage other people's efforts as well. It's kind of like a franchisee or something. Same exact concept. And we all know everyone has a referral model today. You open up your phone, you got Cash App, you got, Uber, you got all these different places. LA Fitness, for crying out loud, has a referral model. It's insane because the old forms just aren't converting like they used to. So all these companies created these unique models, and I love it, man. I fell in love with it. I thought it was a unique concept. Like you said, I had to develop a lot. At 18 years old, I didn't know anything about business, nothing about entrepreneurship at all. So I knew nothing. I think a lot of people get themselves in trouble because they think they know something. I knew nothing, right? Yeah, I knew nothing. So I was like, okay, who's having success? Who can actually teach me? I'm willing to work. I'm willing to put in the ambition, but I just need a coach, a guide, right? And a lot of people played that role in my life. I got around a lot of people that were a lot older than me at the time. And I think that was really vital to my success, getting around people who've been doing it 10, 20, 30 years of their life, not someone who was the same age as me that just was getting started.
That's so cool, dude. So, I mean, when did you first, so, I mean, I'll share with you my story. Just, I don't know if we've ever talked about it, but like, I got into a company that, I should not have been involved in. Let's just be totally, some self-awareness, right? And the reason I say that is I was literally selling anti-aging cream as a 15-year-old. Like, that just doesn't make any fucking sense. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense at all. I'm selling these little pills that are anti-aging. It makes no sense, right? But hey, you don't know what you don't know. It was the first company that it wasn't the first company that I actually ever saw. I was really close with the Amway boys. I'm not going to name any names, but I was really close with them. You can Google top earners in Amway in, Washington State. I was really close with those guys. Extremely close. I was going to every meeting. I was going to every house thing. So I saw the industry. I saw the just the life, the jets, the Ferraris, the cool shit, like the house was larger than my mom's freaking neighborhood. So I was so excited about it. So I got into that lotions, potions, scum from the oceans company. I'm not even going to name the name. And no disrespect to it. I just should not have been involved. And I grinded so hard for 4 years, dude. I never made more than $1,000 a month. Of course, I have probably a very similar story to a lot of other network marketers, but of course, I didn't give up and I continued to rock and roll. And, the little Holton bugs here, it wasn't the company, it was me, 100%. I'm a 15-year-old kid that stole my mom's credit card to sign up on a company and use her all of her information so I could legally do it. And then she has to pay the taxes. Like, of course, I shouldn't have done it, right? I shouldn't have been there. But, it took me on my 5th year of network marketing. I did that company for 4 years, ended up leaving. I walked away from that company because my check was $134 a month. Like, whatever, what am I walking away from? You know what I mean? Here I am at 20 years old now, and my parents I didn't have a job. I didn't have anything. You know what I mean? 20 years old now. And I have the money that I have in my bank account from saving and, of course, flying all over to the conventions and shit like that. And then on my 5th year, boom, I was able to make multiple 6 figures. When did it, you've been doing this since you were 18. When did it become, like, it probably was a full-time gig, but when did it become a true full-time gig?
Yeah, so I love your story. Reason being is people look at this profession sometimes, and I'm a very upfront. I don't oversell, overhype. I'm very just straight, direct to the point, and I give you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear, where a lot of people are trying to oversell something. And I don't think you need to oversell something in the world that we live in, right? Opportunity is opportunity. Like, if you want to make something happen, you can go do it. But your story is great to me personally because I see it every single day. And it's like people approach something and they get involved in why am I not a millionaire in 3 months? Like think about this logically. How long does a doctor go to college? How long? 8 to 10 years, probably on average. Yeah. 8 to 10 years. So a doctor goes to college 8 to 10 years, pays a school hundreds of thousands of dollars to potentially make money in the future. Okay? Talk about commitment, right? Yeah. Think about this logically. You start a business and you want to be making more than a doctor in 90 days, and you literally put a couple $100 maybe into a product, logically, right? It takes time to develop skills. So I always give people proper expectations. I always say your skill set will always match your income long term. And at some points in your life, you could be overpaid and underskilled, right? You could also be underskilled and overpaid, right? At the end of the day, like in life, it goes one way or the other. It could be either or, but over time it figures itself out. So my methodology was I needed to learn. Okay. I needed to learn. I need to get better. I need to develop. And I can tell you about 6 months into the business, I went to like one of those conventions. It was actually in Miami. I remember it like it was yesterday. And I'm sitting in the crowd and I was making some money. It was real part-time. I was going to school and playing sports. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, all these different types of people, because it was many different walks of life. It wasn't just like this type of person or that type. It was like so many different walks of life. And I'm like, if all these people figured this thing out, I can figure this thing out. I have to be able to figure this thing out. If all of them can do it, I can do it. And I kind of think it was more of like a belief thing and an understanding that, okay, this could be more than what it's currently for me. And, a few months after that, I really started making a significant like full-time income, but I was still going to school and playing sports. And when I got to 19 years old in the profession, I was able to get to like a 6-figure income. And of course, results not typical. Most
That's
people,
insane.
right? It happened quick, but I was just ambitious and learning. And I still went to school another full year and a half, basically after that. So I was making multiple 6 figures while I was going to college and playing baseball. So it was kind of crazy. So I was literally going to school, doing what I was doing, and I was still all doing this. And it was like a couple hours at night. That's really what it was, because you got to think about this. College athlete, right? You're going to wake up 5 a.m. We're on the track running. Okay. We're going to breakfast after that. I'm starting class from like 8 to noon, practice from like 1 to 4. Like the day was crazy. And I was still just allocating time. And I got to a point where my income was so significant that I was just like, what if I actually went all out with this thing? Like, what if I really started doing what like you see me do today, like jet setting all over the world, doing what like, what if I really go do this and allocate my full potential to it? So I decided to do that. And, I can tell you from that point, it got really big, really fast. And it was already, very successful. It was already like, oh man, this guy's young and he's having massive, holy crap, this guy's ready. But when I had the ability to go do that full time, it went completely next level. So that's
would you say, I love that, bro, and congratulations to your success, dude. I love watching it. I love being a part of it. I love being a helping hand from a far distance away. But would you a question for you in that aspect, would you say that a little bit of it was luck?
I think the harder you work, the luckier you become.
Sure.
So I think if you consistently do something, so I'm someone who's very routine based.
Okay.
Like if you wake up today and you go to the gym where I live, I'm going to be there at that time. There's like, if you want to see Anthony, like he's going to do these same things each and every day. So I was very structured in my activity. So I don't think more so it was luck. It was more so development. So I really developed, and you hear these cliche sayings like get 1% better each day, like all these like little things, right? These things, quotes people say, but truly I got better each and every day. And that was the trick. And I never got discouraged. I think that was the most important thing, because I knew I wasn't skilled. When people have wrong expectations and they're sold like a pipe dream for whoever got them involved, and that's why the industry has a stigma. It's not the industry, it's the people in the industry that gave it that reputation. And a lot of that was these older companies, the lotions, potions, we could go through them all, but
for sure,
it was that stigma that was created because people would give false expectation.
Yeah.
And I had proper expectation. I knew I sucked. I didn't deserve to be making 6 figures when I started that business. I thought if I got to 6 figures in 10 years, that would be like incredible if I could do that. That was my mentality when I got involved. So it was a completely different mentality than most people. So when someone told me no, or someone, knocked on what I was doing, it never really discouraged me, because I was like, hey, I'm going to be doing this. I'm still young. I'm still learning. I'm going to get to that point eventually. Time's going to be my friend. And that's kind of how I looked at it. And I think it's just how your mindset is. Your mindset dictates your success. I always say, if you get it right up here, it becomes a very easy life. Most people never have it right up here, so everything's very, very difficult.
100%. What kind of income, if you don't mind me asking, were you pulling in for you to walk away from college? And what did your parents say?
Yeah, so my parents thought I was completely nuts. Still, I was making multiple 6 figures. So
it was like high 6 figures or low 6 figures? Are we talking 150 grand, or are we talking 700 grand?
No, like probably 5 to 7 in that.
Okay. So you were fucking killing it.
Yeah, I was already doing that at like 21 years old.
That's insane.
That was already happening. So, of course, results not typical. Most people will never do that. I just want to be very clear to people. But like that all happened, right? And me personally, I was just like, okay, I want to take this to a whole nother level. My parents still thought I was crazy. Think about this, okay? You're
That's
making that type
insane.
of income. Your parents never made that type of income. You're
Never.
making that type of income, and they still think you're crazy. So for me personally, it was very hard to do. I think it was harder for me to walk away from sports, from baseball specifically. Played it my whole life. It was my passion. I was like, man, am I really going to give up on this thing? This is something I love to do.
Yeah.
But it worked out for the best. It was a great decision looking back. And of course, I don't advise anyone to make those types of decisions. Go pursue whatever you want to pursue in life. But it was a situation I was in. I felt like there was an opportunity, and I went and pursued it.
That's insane, dude. Again,
Yep.
that's so powerful to walk away something that you love so much. But look where you are now.
Correct.
It's insane. If it wasn't for network marketing, what do you think you'd be doing today?
That's a crazy question. I literally have literally no idea.
No idea.
I didn't know what network marketing was at 18. So logically think about this. I never heard of this profession at all. Random guy that I'm friends with for a few weeks goes, hey man, I think you should check this out. I think you actually know my buddy Eric. That was my buddy Eric at the time, but
Okay.
we'll go to that another time. But my buddy Eric basically exposed me to this thing. Knew nothing about it. The only thing I saw that was very unique was I saw a lot of people that I knew, family members specifically, working to a very old age. Residual income really clicked with me. It was like, residual income?
Yeah.
You could do something today that could pay you tomorrow. And of course, that's a fairy tale for most people because most people can't build something sustainable and long term. But I saw the concept and I was like, I'm so young. If I really develop and learn how to do this, I'd love to get paid when I stop working. That's a great concept. So, that's what really clicked with me, and that's kind of why I pursued it. But I have no idea. It was probably like if I grew up, I would have been sports. I would have said, right, sports. That was it for me. And of course, there's a very small percentage of people who become professional athletes. We all understand that. But it was that, and then network marketing came into it, and then network marketing became the sport. So that's kind of how it worked.
That's crazy. Is Eric still involved in the business today?
So actually, he's like a customer. He doesn't really do anything with the platform today. No, he's kind of out of the industry. He's in high ticket sales and other things, but similar kind of stuff, I would say, in the sense of sales wise. But he was, a good friend, and we had a lot of fun starting out together and getting around people that were better than us. And that's why I excelled so quick. I got around veterans, people who were like, 10x better than me. That's just the reality.
100%, bro. I mean, I truly believe, you know what I mean? Obviously network marketing changed my life. And if it wasn't for network marketing, I wouldn't know the things that I know and have the leverage and have the, what I have today. At the end of the day, it formed me as a person, as an individual. And I'm forever grateful for it. And I think for those of you that are listening and on this, and whether you're, 13, 14, 12, 15, 16, 21 years old, or if you're fucking 25, man, you know what I mean? And you're going to college and or you just graduated and, you really don't have any true skill sets at the end of the day. Like if you're not around business and you're not around individuals and you're not around sales, I think sales is the best industry on planet Earth. As my little wiener dog is getting yelled at, you can probably hear it out there. He's probably either one, chasing a bunny rabbit, because we just moved to Denver and there's so many bunny rabbits. We live in a nice, beautiful area. And we've got a little backyard with real grass. And then this dude goes, and this is the little, imagine a 9-pound wiener dog chasing after a bunny rabbit in the backyard. It's hilarious. Anyways, I always tell people, like, if when I get the Instagram DMs, Austin, what would you do? How can you help me? Yada, yada. I literally, I'm not even bull. Like, I'm totally transparent with people. And I say, you should go join a network marketing company. You should go join a network marketing company. Like, that is going to change your life right there. Even if you don't do anything, but just to be around the community, to be around other people that want more. Like, of course, we've heard the cliche things. You are the average of the 5 people that you hang out with. That's so true. Okay. You look at your closest 5 friends. Like, if they're all broke, you're for sure going to be broke. Yeah. You know what I mean?
No, you're crushing it. Like, on the point that you're making right here, like, people don't understand. Like, you can make $0. It doesn't matter. That the mentality of just your mindset shift is what's going to change your life. And getting around, like, when you're 18, none of your friends have any money. So I got around people that were 30, 40, 50 years old that had money, that thought completely differently than my friends at 18. So what happened? Guess what? You start making some money. You start learning some things. You see how the world works. And your law of association, it's so crazy that you're saying that, because I always say, like, the stories your mom tells you as a little kid, go hang out with those 5 bad kids, you're going to get in trouble, right? You're going to be in trouble. Like, it's those little stories. That's honestly how life works. It's so crazy, but it's so true.
It is so true, dude. So, I mean, what other investments, obviously you've been able to make a substantial amount of money at such a young age, 28 years old. When is your birthday, by the way?
February 23rd.
February 23rd. I'll remember that. I'll put that in the calendar, man.
Pisces. Pisces.
Pisces. There you go. What and I have a lot of other interesting questions in terms of that. But I mean, now that you obviously made a substantial amount of money, what have you been able to do with it? What did you do with it? And who told you to do anything with it? Right? Like when I made my first my decent amount of money, bro, I had nothing to show for it because I blew it. I spent it. But I also I've gone through this, roller coaster of not having mentors, not having coaches, and then having coaches, having mentors. And I don't know, they made a crap ton of money, but I don't know if they were the right coaches or right mentors based off what I was seeing and what I was looking at. Right. But what other investments do you have and how did you get there?
Yeah, so bought my first property at 19 and I've been buying properties every year since. So I got into real estate at a super young age. My mom got me into that. So I got to give a shout out to her for that. She was very heavy, hey, real estate. She loved the concept of real estate. So that's something I put money into, right, at a young age. That was a great thing to start out with. Been able to build a nice real estate portfolio with that. Got into the financial markets at a super young age, started investing in stocks and multiple other businesses and many other things actually at an extremely young age. I always had the mentality where I didn't really care to wear the $5,000 t-shirt, which a lot of people around me were wearing the $5,000 t-shirt. I'd wear the $50 t-shirt and put my money into investments. Yeah. So that was my mentality. I never cared to look cool. Yeah, I drive cool cars, live in a beautiful house. Of course, I'm not going to say I don't splurge on anything, but I didn't spend money in a stupid way. And if you saw me at the gym right now, you would just think, oh, Ant's a regular 28-year-old dude. You would have no idea who I was. The whole methodology was I'm not living for today, I'm living for tomorrow. Yeah. And that's how I've always looked at my life. I'm not thinking about today's result. A lot of people are like, I'm a loser or I'm successful based on literally today. I'm looking at my life 5, 10, 15, 20 years into the future today. So I always had that mentality. And I got to say, I was just blessed to have that. It was crazy. To be honest, most people don't think like me. A lot of people say you're an old soul. That's what they always tell me. I'm an old soul. And you're such an old soul, right? You don't think like a young person. But I think that was because of the people I got around at that young age. Like I was saying, got around guys that were older than me, 40s, 50s, 60s, that had been around the block. So I started taking their concepts and their lingo and their mentalities and adopting them at such a young age that I started thinking different. So I'm extremely diversified today, which is great, right? I'm not relying on my network marketing business at all today, which is insane to think about that with that type of income, but I'm not relying on that. I could do whatever really, but I actually love it. So when you start something, you always have a purpose or reason why you get involved, right? A lot of people get involved in business to make money. Some people get involved to retire their parents or do something unique or give back to charity or whatever the case may be. A lot of people want to travel the world and all this other stuff. I personally, when I got involved, of course, I had no money. I definitely wanted to learn how to make some money. That would have been a great skill to have when you have none of it, right? So after making some money, though, and getting to a place where I was never the guy who needed to be greedy or make stupid amounts of money. I'm very content, even though, of course, the income kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I wasn't the guy who was oh, I need to have this much money to go do this. I was never that guy. But because of that, the goals and the why shifted. It really became I truly love helping people. I love seeing 18, 19-year-old, 20-year-old kids like myself at the time when I was 18. I had no direction besides sports. You told me I was going to be a business and be an entrepreneur and if you would have told me at 18 years old, by 21, you would have been who you are, I would have been you're the craziest person in the world, man. You are completely nuts, right? But it changes when you get around those people, like you said. And I think it sounds so simple. Everyone watching this will be hang out with successful people. You become successful. Yeah, literally that simple.
It's a hack.
Yeah. And it's a lot of people in life, they have this mentality where they're always talking about other people. They're very jealous, envious of people. I always wanted to learn. If you could teach me something and you're better than me, I love to be around you, man. And I would always give. I wasn't trying to take. So a lot of people I get around successful people are always looking for something for themselves. I was giving to them. And they were like, man, Ant gives. So the mentality and the approach was so strategic and so smart. So they would actually value being with me. They would value my time. Where so many people are looking, they see successful people and they're trying to take advantage of successful people because they're successful. They're trying to get something out of them instead of trying to give something to them. the mentality that I had going into the whole situation was like, learn, 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 learn. You're super young, and over time you're going to get really good. So that was it.
Dude, that's incredible. That's insane. That's incredible. What is so obviously you're newly engaged.
Yeah.
Congratulations, by the way. What is
Yeah.
the what is the better half do?
She's in the beauty business. She has her own salon.
Cool. That's awesome. So it's straight up power couple. Does she get involved? Did she get involved in any at the network marketing side or no?
No, we're very independent. So like she'll invest in things like, I trade and invest and do stuff like that. So she'll do stuff in the investing, real estate, like that kind of stuff she'll get to. But her business is her business. So she runs her own business. She's really passionate about it. She's very good at what she does. So it's pretty cool because we're both, self-motivated people, both like have their own kind of things. So it's cool. Really cool.
That's awesome. Would you say she has played a massive role in, I mean, you guys have been together for 7 years. So, I mean, would you say she's played a massive role in your success inside all of your businesses?
Yeah, no, I think at the end of the day, you have to have good people around you, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like the law of association when it comes to business, law of association when it comes to your life in general, who you're around, who you associate with. It's always positive mentality, striving for, greatness, being better each and every day. Like we have similar goals when it comes to that kind of stuff. So I think it's always been, uplifting and something beneficial for me.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. That's so sick. What's next for you, man? I mean, obviously, company goes public. You have $100 million worth of shares. What's next for you, baby? I'm already speaking into existence. All right, bro. Let's go.
Yes. So
hey, my man.
We're already publicly traded, right? Which is cool. But we're getting ready for uplift into the NASDAQ. So hopefully, the next 12, 24 months, we get all that done. That'll be pretty cool. Building the business and becoming household names. Like I always wanted to build something that people were like, wow, that's a successful business. Kind of like when you look at like Apple, you're like, damn, Apple's Apple, right?
Yeah.
Like there's nothing you're going to say about Apple. It's just Apple. Amazon's Amazon. Tesla's Tesla. It's like you want to build a business that people know and they're like, that was a hell of a business. They built a real business there. So that's always something I've wanted to do. I wanted to build something special. I love, the startup stage of a business, developing a business. I actually love that part where a lot of people will be like fearful of that part. Because it's a lot of headaches and it's not, the pioneering stage of anything is not for most people, right?
100%.
There's a lot of headaches and people will give up really quick, right? I kind of love the formation. It's like a puzzle, right? You're like building this thing. And a lot of people think like in business, it's about, oh, how good you are at selling something or how great your product is. Or like, no, it's actually a combination of many, many little things. There's many little things that make something successful. And I kind of like the formulation stage and it's fun to me. And I think what we formed and kind of built, it's different than what's around us. You know what I mean? If you compared what we do today in this industry to other things, you'd be like, wow, yeah, that's completely different than the old school models and how they've been able to build what they've built. And this digital world that we live in today with subscription-based services, it's huge. I saw Apple, Apple put out their quarterly financials. I think it was like 2 weeks ago. 25% of Apple's revenue today is in subscriptions. 25%. Okay, you think of them as like a software company or a product company, right? They build computers, phones, headphones, whatever the case may be. 25%. So think about how powerful subscription models are today in the world. And of course, we know the Netflixes and the Amazons, etc. But see how big of a market that is when you could build an incredible product for an affordable price that could solve a need. It's a huge space. So, I've had fun with it and we built something really different and really unique.
That's so sick, dude. Congratulations again, man, on all your success. It is freaking awesome. You're dropping some gems, bro. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't already, make sure and smash the thumbs up button on this YouTube video, as well as drop a comment section down below what you guys' thoughts are on Mr. A right here, the man, the myth, the legend, what you guys like, what you guys want more of. And if you guys haven't already, make sure and subscribe if you're on YouTube, if you're on Apple, iTunes, Spotify, or podcasts, make sure and show some love there because this guy is a absolute legend. And again, on all platforms, if you guys go into the description below, his information to his Instagram is going to be there, and anything else. Anthony, obviously I can throw up, whatever else website. I'm sure you have a personal website too, don't you? Yeah. So we can throw whatever we want to throw up on there. And do that. Anthony, I don't want to keep you too long because obviously I ran late myself personally since I couldn't figure out how to get my camera working. But I just want to end on a closing thing. And obviously that just being whatever you want to share, whatever you feel is on your heart and your mind, and whatever you feel is necessary to share with the audience, and just a last minute clip. And the reason I like to do this is just because this is going to get stitched. This is going to be a solid little reel, and it's going to be fire. So, bro, share me with your last little final words, man.
Yeah, no, I'll just tell you guys at the end of the day, like we talked about pretty much in this whole call, it was repeated over and over and over again. And I hope it kind of instilled in your mind. When I speak and when I do trainings and stuff on business, I like to repeat, because eventually it starts clicking in your brain. But the concept of getting around people that are better than you and really getting around winners. Like in life, there's winners and losers. Okay. And it's all a mentality thing. It's not a thing that, oh, this person was born to be a winner, or this person was born to be a loser. No, it's the mentality they adopt over time. And I can tell you at 18 years old, I got around really good people. I went from being let's just say the smartest guy in the friend group by far, right? To the dumbest guy in the friend group by 19 years old. That was a big lifestyle shift and a mindset shift overall, because for the first time in my life, I wasn't the guy who was the smartest in the room and making all the decisions. I was learning and listening to others. And I can tell you, when you stop talking and start listening, good things start happening. So that mentality shift really was huge to me. And like I said, I never stopped learning. Even to this day, like people will say, oh, you're super successful. You're so young. Like it's impressive what you've done. I'm like, I just work hard, man. I'm nothing special. Like I work my ass off. Yeah, I'll grind. I'm willing to put in the work, but I surrounded myself with great people. That was the key to my success. And I can just tell you guys, get around people, keep learning every single day. You never know everything. Think about this. 20 years ago, if you would have told someone we're going to walk around with computers in our pockets, they would have said you're completely nuts, right? We do it every single day and no one even thinks about it today. So think about the world. It's always evolving. It's always changing. You're always going to have to be adapting and learning. And that's the phase you always want to be in. Once you think you know it all and you start buying your own advertisement, trust me, you're going to be in big trouble. So stay humble, stay focused, and good things will come. So that's my message to you guys.
Dude, you're the man, bro. I appreciate you. Anthony, thank you so much for coming on, man. Much love. Continue on the success. And I look forward to actually doing an in-person interview with you as well. Maybe you'll have to come down to Florida and make some stuff happen, man. So again, thank you so much. I appreciate you being on, man. And continue your success journey. For those of you that haven't already, go follow Mr. Anthony on Instagram. He's an absolute animal, bro. We'll see you in a future episode, my guy.